One of the things about the Quebec healthcare system is that it's ever-changing, and that's one of the challenges for caregivers because systems and processes will be set up in one way, and then a year or two later, a new government comes in and things get changed around. But I think the basics to know about the Quebec system is that there's three major systems: hospital system, community home system, and a rehab system. And a person will transfer through those different systems depending on what their needs are. I think the most important thing for a caregiver to remember is that they have a right to be involved in treatment. Make sure that your loved one has given you permission to be involved, be an advocate, be a voice, be involved in any of those treatment plans or any of those team meetings, to be there and to be present, and make sure that you speak up for yourself and speak up for your loved one and advocate for everything that you need. As a healthcare professional, I see a caregiver's involvement as they're really my ally. They're really the number one source of information. Without their opinion, without their observations, there's no way that I can do my job. They're the ones that know if the treatment I'm recommending or the interventions I want to provide are actually realistic, appropriate, and really meet the needs of that person. Often I find that caregivers don't involve themselves with the treatment planning because, number one, they don't think that they could add any value, and two, they think that we're all the experts, therefore we should be coming up with the plan. But in my point of view, the caregiver is actually the expert and the patient is the expert. And it's really important for them to share their opinion and to give their voice to the treatment plan. A secondary reason why I think caregivers aren't involved is that as a healthcare professional, we forget to ask. And I don't think we do that maliciously. It's not our intent. But look, all of us are human beings and we get working and we're in our bubble and we forget to actually reach out and ask the person who's involved in the treatment for their opinion. So I think as a healthcare professional, it's always important for me to remind myself to always ask the patient, always ask the caregiver to become involved in the treatment. I think there are two things that healthcare professionals can do for the caregiver. One, they can ask the caregiver what he or she needs in relationship to the patient. So they're evaluating what the patient's needs are, how that relates and impacts the caregiver's life, and then providing those services related to the patient. The second thing that a healthcare provider can do is ask the caregiver what he or she needs outside of what they're giving to that patient. So then they would be connecting them with external resources, community resources, or maybe something even that's within the system, and those services would be tailored and directly given to the caregiver. It can be intimidating as a caregiver to be in this meeting of healthcare professionals, but it's really important to remember that you belong there. And without your information, without your observations, without your participation, the care for your loved one will never be as good. We need to hear from you. We need to understand what's happening at home or whatever environment the person is living. We need that information, and the more that you share with us, the better we'll be able to provide the service.